The $150 mark represents the definitive sweet spot of the watch world. It sits comfortably above disposable plastic fashion pieces, yet remains well below the heavy financial commitment of entry-level Swiss luxury. Brands flood this specific price point with wildly conflicting designs to capture every possible consumer. You have everything from Armani Exchange's stark, minimal black cases to Invicta's massive neon orange chronographs competing for the same budget. Buying an objectively well-made watch that physically clashes with your daily routine is the most common path to buyer's remorse. A heavy dive watch catches on a tailored dress shirt cuff, and a fragile dress watch risks internal damage during a morning workout. Surviving the $150 market requires ignoring generic top 10 lists. You must evaluate these watches strictly as tools and match them to the environment where you spend the most time. Every entry-level watch forces a choice between two competing priorities: aesthetic specialization and utilitarian versatility. This chart maps out that trade-off. Along the x-axis, we measure everyday versatility. On the y-axis, we track wrist presence and boldness. In the top left quadrant, we find the specialists. These watches have massive visual impact and oversized cases, but their aggressive styling restricts them to highly specific casual outfits. Down in the bottom right quadrant, we see conservative three-hand dials. These easily blend into any professional environment, though they lack a distinct visual wow factor. Identifying which of these two quadrants fits your life is the only reliable way to avoid wasting your budget on a piece of metal that will sit in a drawer. First, we examine the everyday minimalists. This group relies on clean aesthetics and includes the Citizen Classic, the Citizen Leather, the Armani Exchange, and the Michael Kors Slim Runway. The primary physical benefit of these watches is their moderate footprint. Because their case sizes range from 39 to 44 millimeters, they sit relatively flat against the wrist. That slim profile provides high versatility. A watch like the Citizen Classic will easily slide under a business suit jacket during the week and transition to a casual t-shirt on the weekend without drawing undue attention. There is a severe aesthetic trade-off with the all-black fashion models in this group. While the monochromatic black hands and black dials of the Armani and Michael Kors models look modern in bright conditions, they are nearly impossible to read in low light. The black PVD coatings on these bracelets also carry a physical risk. Physical vapor deposition, or PVD, is a vacuum coating process used to darken metals. At this price point, daily desk impacts and friction will eventually wear through that coating, exposing the raw silver steel underneath. Minimalist watches prioritize blending in over standing out. They are the safest bet for the office, even if dedicated horology enthusiasts find their designs overly conservative. If you want maximum visibility, we move to the bold and rugged giants, the Fossil Nate, the Fossil Coachman, and the Invicta Speedway. This comparison matrix highlights the massive jump in physical dimensions, moving straight to 50 and 51 millimeter cases. The enlarged surface area allows for thick numerals and bold, luminous hands, providing instant legibility. The fatal flaw of this design is anatomical. If your wrist measures under 7 inches in circumference, anything over 50 millimeters will overhang the edges of your arm. It physically cannot fit under a tailored sleeve. Within this heavyweight category, the Fossil Coachman offers a distinct utilitarian advantage: a robust 100-meter water resistance rating. The immediate caveat is how the watch is packaged. Because the Coachman ships on a thick leather cuff, you must purchase and install a separate rubber or nylon strap before actually exposing the watch to water. While this category offers maximum durability and boldness, its sheer size restricts the wearer almost entirely to casual, weekend, or outdoor environments. Our final category centers on the elevated illusionists. These watches are engineered to simulate the complexity of luxury timepieces and include the Fossil Dean, the Fossil Grant, and the OLEVS automatic. The Fossil models use two-tone metals, Roman numerals, and dense chronograph subdials to mimic the aesthetic of sports watches that cost upwards of $500. The functional reality of these Quartz chronographers, watches with a built-in stopwatch function, is heavily weighted toward aesthetics. The extra dials create the illusion of high-end complexity, but the actual stopwatch functions are almost never activated by everyday wearers. The OLEVS mechanical skeleton is the true outlier of this entire list. By using a self-winding automatic movement, it eliminates the need for a battery entirely. The primary appeal here is visual. The skeletonized dial allows the wearer to look straight through the glass and watch the physical machine operating inside. That mechanical complexity introduces severe practical trade-offs. If left unworn for a day, the spring winds down and requires manual winding to restart. Furthermore, it possesses a highly restrictive 30-meter water resistance, meaning it is safe for light rain, but not for swimming. These elevated watches successfully provide the illusion of high-end horology. You simply sacrifice ruggedness and simplicity to achieve that specific look. We can now transition from analyzing the hardware to deploying a logical system that matches these watches directly to your lifestyle. This flowchart splits into formal office and casual outdoor. The formal path points to cases under 45 millimeters. The casual path splits. Wrists over 7 inches support 50 millimeter cases, while smaller wrists need standard sizes. Finally, a maintenance branch isolates the automatic watch. Filtering the market through this strict logic gate removes the anxiety of picking the universally best watch. It leaves you only with the correct tool for your specific job. For the pragmatist, the buyer whose goal is zero maintenance and a seamless transition from the boardroom to the bar, the Citizen Quartz Leather or the Fossil Dean are the only logical choices. For the spec and activity seeker with a larger wrist, the Fossil Coachman offers a level of outdoor utility that goes unmatched in this tier. Warning tone: the factory leather strap will not survive the water. You need to swap it for rubber or nylon to take advantage of that 100-meter rating. For the fashion and statement buyer, the mechanical depth of the OLEVS or the stark, blacked-out Armani exchange dominate the market for pure visual impact and conversation-starting presence. At the $150 threshold, the watch is a deliberate part of your daily aesthetic framework. Matching that framework to the reality of your life ensures the watch stays on your wrist instead of in a drawer.